Hello, my name is Michael Price. I'm a sales recruiter. I have been for 25 years. I'm here to talk to you about a client director role with a company that I've categorized as customer experience and engagement. We'll talk to you a little bit more about that. 110 to 125k basic, double uncapped OTE. I think a lot of companies just throw that notionally in there because the candidates expect it should be double OTE and it should be uncapped. This 100% is definitely uncapped. I've met a few of the salespeople here. So the company is a £270 million ARR business. They've gone from they've got to 270 million in 5 years, which is absolutely outstanding. Now, clearly, they've done that by acquisition and some organic growth and tying clients together and turning them into longer term contract, which has meant that they've got absolutely massive tech stack. And in the opening slide, I said, it's about customer experience. It is really. I think you can put these into three silos. They've got lots of products that you can put into three silos. Client engagement. So they're talking to their clients about how their clients are managing customers, increasing that engagement level, decreasing the cost, but keeping the engagement still high, and all the bits that go behind that. Then you talk about experience, and then you talk about data. So if you would think about a big platform that allowed Mike Price to engage with HSBC in a more effective manner, for HSBC to sell me a load more stuff along the way, and then to make sure it was all secured, this client is a one-stop shop for that. And when you look at the acquisitions, you can really see why this company has bought these individual products and then positioned them collectively together. And they've got some gigantic clients. I mean, absolute household name clients. The sales leader, done this job a long time, I would say this person is one of the top three I've ever met. Full stop, ever. Sharp, dynamic, polite, a good salesperson, easy to deal with. You know where you stand. There's no way this sales leader took that job without it being a good company. Hence the reason that we ended up talking, because they called me and I looked at the company. And then what they're saying about it is they're saying, listen, Mike, it is a massive place with lots of room for growth. We look at it, and I described it actually when I was with them, saying it just feels like you've got loads of holes in all your accounts. And they said, yeah, 100%. There's loads of scope for growth, but it is a bit chaotic. It's a bit not quite organised as perfectly as you want it. But then that's always going to be the case with this kind of business. They do sell on-prem or cloud. That's pretty important. When you look at one of their biggest competitors, who you could probably name, that's a pure cloud business. And that's great and everything, because the candidates want to sell that. But there comes a practicality that at some point, a client will want something in their environment. The role is a client director role. It's a massive tech stack. So a lot of this is about simply filling the gaps. What do we sell that the client hasn't got? But then there's also something to be cautious of with that. Because when I met a few of the salespeople, but one in particular, he said something that really stuck in my mind. He went, it's very easy to get caught in a product silo sale because the client has a need, we've got a product, the product does that need, and the client's talking to other vendors who do that product. And he said, it's not like we've bought a load of rubbish products, so you can get involved in that. He said, but really, the way you're going to make money is rather than sitting in this product silo, he's sitting higher up in the C-suite, and we need to talk to our clients about their overall strategic vision and how we can pull that all together. And I use the word journey a lot, not because I work for Journey, but because it's an accurate word to use. This is about that same product journey that like a Microsoft or an Oracle or a Salesforce, that those companies have, where when the clients are using those platforms, then we're going with the client on their journey. And this is exactly the same. There's huge accelerators. There is going to be a bit of new business. I mean, they've got more than 350 active clients. But of course, why wouldn't you do new business in a set vertical? And they mainly sell to big commercial entities. There's a little bit of central government, a little bit of health, but not much. So what they're looking for is, and I use this term enterprise application sort of carefully, really. It's actually easier to say what they don't want. So what they don't want is somebody who sells security or somebody who sells managed services where actually it's break fix maintenance around printers and the candidate's going, yeah, but it's digital transformation, Mike. No, it's not. That is not. All you're taking is existing service contract and turning it into your service contract. This client does not want that. They want somebody who understands the customer journey in a B2C environment. They want somebody who understands ERP or CRM or automation software or workflow software at a really high level. That's what they want. And from a person perspective, we've spoken about not getting caught into a product silo. I said that's about linking the macro with the micro. They really don't want somebody who's entitled. And I think in the IT industry, there are a lot of people who are from an exceptionally privileged background with which there's nothing wrong, but then that privilege has extended into the companies that they have worked for and the way in which those companies have then treated them. They don't want that. They want somebody who is capable of standing on their own 2 feet and battling it out a little bit. This is a £270 million business. They are competing against the biggest names in the market, but they don't want somebody who's been sat in a silo with an easy life. And they need somebody to deal with that chaos. It's bound to be chaotic when it grows in that way. It can't not be. Pretty open from a vertical perspective. Basic 110 to 125 with double OTE. We spoke about the OTE at length, and actually they went through the commission plan with me, and it really is absolutely superb. There are people here who are going to earn a huge amount of money, and the sales leader is very, very, very happy to pay that. And the other part of this is when I look at some of the very big software vendors, they'll have Sam Smith, who sells CRM software to finance companies between X and Y. And actually, what Sam Smith has got is 10 prospects to go at and one product. And yeah, it's great. Sam works for this big logo, but actually, they're really stuck in Sector 7G, like Homer Simpson. That's the reference, but that's the case. This is not that. There's just so much more freedom here and so much more free reign. Inevitably, 3 years down the line, when they've recruited a lot of salespeople, that the opportunity for that land grab will have slipped. My contact details are on the screen. Also, the email address of my colleague Jo. It's unlikely you'll speak to her, but she and I do work together very closely, so I have included her email address. Thank you. Hopefully speak to you soon.